Hello, guys, and welcome back. So, I hope you have enjoyed this course so far, and we are on our last theoretical topic for this Ansible beginners course, that is roles and collections. And I strongly recommend that if you have directly jumped onto this video, please go back and watch my videos on Ansible from beginning. That will help you understand exactly what is Ansible and help you with kickstarting your Ansible scripting journey efficiently. And yeah, let's begin with this lesson. So, today we are going to learn about what are roles and Ansible collections under Ansible. So, first we'll talk about roles. So, as the name suggests, roles might be something which is defined or something, a task that is defined to a specific name or something specific thing. So, and what are exactly roles in Ansible is that every role contains a task, handlers, variables, files, and templates that are assigned to each other. So, what exactly happens is when we use roles inside our project or our Ansible scripting, and if we have a lot many tasks under our like we want to handle the entire infrastructure, so there might be custom scripts for everything. Like for database, there might be a set of scripts. For web servers, there might be a different set of scripts. So this encourages. So when we create roles, like for example, we created a role called web server and of one for database. So that encourages us to keep the code and structure clean, and that can be the code can be reused for our own purposes. And this also helps to share and maintain the code, and it just keeps the entire automation pipeline very clean. So because of roles, we can the modules the becomes more the Ansible scripts become more reusable and more modular. So let's dive into an example. So you will immediately catch up what is exactly a role and why it's important to use roles when we have a large project at stake. So here is an example of a file structure of our project directory. So under roles, I have mentioned web server, and under web server, everything that we have seen in the previous lecture is present. So there are tasks, handlers, templates, files, variables, defaults, metadata. So you can see that a web server is assigned with the specific tasks or specific handlers or specific templates of web server itself. So when we run the final playbook, that is in the end, we have a master playbook. We just need to run, and the entire application or the entire code should run appropriately. So here is a example that we want to deploy a web application. So we what for a web application, what all we need? We need to start the web server or deploy the web server and deploy the database. So we don't need to complicate this master script as such, and just we have to mention the module, that is roles, and under that we'll just mention web server and database. So what these roles will do inside, when once it's inside the script, it will go back to the directory where the mentioned role is present. So for my example, there is web server. So it will go back to the web server. It will go inside the task. It will check for the tasks what are present inside the task directory, and it will perform all the tasks and come out of it. Then it will go to the database role and perform the tasks and everything what all is mentioned inside it. So by this, we can keep the master playbook very clean, and by this the code becomes more modular and more readable and very clean to maintain as well. So that's the pretty much significance of roles inside Ansible. So let's move on to the next topic of our today's lecture, that is collections in Ansible. So assume collections as for example, just assume that you don't want to start from the beginning and don't want to code the entire Ansible in like script from start for something that is already present or already available, ready available on the internet. So assume collections is a package of everything that you want to perform. Suppose you want to deploy a database. So there might be a collection of the entire database with including the roles, modules, plugins, and everything bundled. And it's just like a plugin, and you just have to download it. So in that case, collections become very handy for us. So as it is mentioned over here, it is very useful for sharing automation across teams, or else downloading pre-built content from Ansible Galaxy. So these are the collection contents. It contains roles, modules, plugins, playbooks, and relevant documentation of how to get started. of when you download a collection from the internet. So let's immediately look into an example and it will get much clearer. So here is an example of a MySQL collection. So for example, I don't want to script from start. I will just download the pre-built collection of my MySQL, and I will just kickstart my scripting and just make my own customization. So there will be a documentation present on what all modules or variables that we need to use for starting our Ansible script for MySQL. So you can see an Ansible Galaxy. So what is exactly Ansible Galaxy is it is a repository of all the collections that people upload onto the internet. So this is again it's free to download repository from where you can download the collections which are helpful for you, and people can pre-build can build their own custom script for particular activities, and they can upload it on Ansible Galaxy. So for this, there is a community edition for MySQL, and I want to just directly run it. So I will download it from Ansible Galaxy. So this is the syntax of it that you can run on the terminal. Ansible Galaxy collection install community MySQL, and then inside the code you can just start using your MySQL. So what is exactly happening? We just have to mention before everything, before your task, that which collection you are going to use inside your Ansible script. So under collections, I am mentioning community.mysql, and after that, I will use all the variables that are important for MySQL. So it will also come with a documentation of how to use it. So I'm using MySQL root password under variables. So you can see then I have started with my task. That is, what is my first task? Set MySQL root password. So again, this is a module which is custom built and it will be present in the documentation. So community.mysql.mysql underscore user. You have to mention name, host, password, login your Unix socket, and state. So this password is already mentioned over here. It will come from here. So next task is to create a new MySQL database. So again, so what is the module present in the documentation? Community.mysql.mysql underscore db. So I will use that. I will check from the documentation that I have to use this for my specific task. So I will use that, and it's like syntax will also be present inside the documentation. So I will give the name and state. So I hope this is pretty much clear of how exam collections work, and this example is pretty straightforward for its understanding. And yeah, so we have come to an end to our Ansible playlist and our Ansible course. So if you have any doubts or you have any feedback for me, you can please mention into the comment section. If you want to, like if you want me to touch down on any other topics, or you have not understood any topics and need me to revisit that, you can please mention it in my comment section. So yeah, so following this now, we are going to have multiple lab videos. We are going to touch down on all these topics that we have previously covered inside the Ansible course. Yeah, and see you in that videos. Thank you.